everybody. Who's ready for E3?
I'm publicly distancing myself from this. I was coerced into this.
Yeah! E3!
Are you drinking Mountain Dew?
It's Coca-Cola, David. I don't drink Mountain Dew.
Okay.
Yeah!
I hope not.
It's storming really heavy in where I live right now. So the thunder's probably gonna take out a power line and end this podcast early. And if
Great.
And if there we go. And if we're really lucky, we might even hear my family fighting in the background. My dog is probably gonna leave the room at some time, but right now he's entranced by the window, so he's good for a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, E3. Get ready, everybody. It's time for the Electronic Entertainment Expo. Yeah.
Why are you so excited?
Yeah, I love E3. E3 is a beast all on its own. There's really nothing else like E3. I don't think there's not even like
except
to explain.
E3's not even like E3 anymore. It feels like this is one of its last years of relevance ever.
Maybe, but I feel like there's no time of year where like all the big movie studios get together and they're like, hey, look at what's coming out. They just sort of dole it out whenever.
Except TV does do that.
Does TV do that?
Yes, it's called the upfronts.
Is it? I've never heard of that.
Yes.
Oh. But like it's not like a showcase. Like E3 was a like conferencing thing that evolved into like this MTV level over the top thing and then slowly began to remove the theatrics in order to focus on the content. And we've had, I want to say the last E3 is often considered one of the best. It's considered one of the best since the last best E3, which I think was like 2007, 2006, I want to say.
Why was last year's good? Last year's had nothing exciting.
Last year's had a ton of... It might have been the year before. Was last year the year where Sony was like, we're going to have 80 games for the PS4? And like, because like Zelda U got revealed and Splatoon got revealed and Microsoft revealed like more stuff on Sunset Overdrive. Last year was a good year. Stuff happened. A hell of a lot more is happening this year, I can tell you that much.
That's just because you love Fallout.
Yeah, I do love Fallout. I watched that Fallout trailer. I had the exact same reaction that everyone else had to it, which was, this doesn't look great, but I bet it'll be fun.
Well, it's because the entire thing was in engine.
Yeah. Yeah, it was an honest trailer. It wasn't trying to screw you. It wasn't trying to make a point. It was just, this is what Fallout 4 is going to look like. Do you want to play it? Yeah, I do. I want to play a World of Fallout, but more neon. I just hope that Bethesda gets Obsidian to write it. I know they won't, but you know, baby steps. When we get to like Fallout Dog City, then you know. Then I'll be happy.
What?
I want well, because Dog City was one of the locations in the original Fallout 3.
Oh.
And, I want Obsidian to do another New Vegas style thing. Because, goddamn, New Vegas is fantastic. I really love New Vegas.
I still haven't played it.
It's probably one of my all-time favorite games.
Okay.
It might be one of the only games that could, like, potentially take that spot from Snake Eater. E3! So welcome to the E3 No Show. So we had done something like this previously on another website where we had a VGA's reaction cast, the last Video Game Awards. But I think they were just called the Game Awards because they were no longer sponsored by Spike, who owns that name. Whatever, it's stupid. And I thought we would go through the same thing of just guess at what's going to be there, but there were a couple problems. The first thing is, as I was playing through the idea in my head, it was just the VGA's podcast again. Anything that wasn't confirmed at that podcast, it was kind of everything we guessed, to be honest. We didn't get a whole lot correct? Everything that we didn't get there, we would have just said again here. And in the weeks leading up to E3, everyone decided to just say what's going to be at E3.
Yep.
Which from the standpoint of a consumer, I think is better because it allows you to have a bunch of little hype trailers, and then like here's this big conference where they're not going to do another Fallout 4 trailer, and then that's it. It's going to be playable. You're going to get hands-on coverage of it, which is probably for the best.
But you need like 5 hours to like get into Fallout. Like that's not a game you can just pick up and play for a little bit.
That's true, but at least like it's there in a form other than just, hey, here's a trailer. It looks nice. You're not just going to get confirmation of existence. You're going to get shown, like someone somewhere is probably going to get 5 hours of Fallout 4 coverage, I would assume. Like we already know Doom is coming, so when the Doom trailer plays, it is not going to be Doom guy like capping a demon and then the Doom logo. It's going to be more extensive than that. Okay. E3! All right. So what the idea of the E3 no-show show is instead of taking guesses at what will be there, we're going to take guesses at what will not be there. So the rules are pretty simple. You get 1 point for a game not being there. That's the basic sort of all-encompassing rule. If you say this game will not be there and it is not there, you get a point. You get 2 points for a console exclusive not being there. I'm trying to remember my own rules in my head here. Sorry. So if you want to say there's not going to be a Mario whatever sequel, you get a point. You get 3 points for a sequel not being there. It has to be a sequel to something relevant. You can't say there's not going to be a Ikaruga sequel because of course there isn't. That doesn't count. It has to be a sequel to something from within the last 5 years to get 3 points. 4 points is hardware revisions. You can only choose one hardware revision though.
They already announced both of them.
But like you can guess another if you want.
So
do you think if you think there's going to be
stupid because they're not going to revise the Wii U?
Well, then don't guess for that one, David.
But we're guessing what won't be there.
Exactly. So don't. Yeah.
So what's the point of we know it won't be there? So then shouldn't you guess that because we know it's not going to be there, obviously?
Shut up.
Your game is dumb, and I don't support this.
5 points is to any game that was previously announced to be at E3. So I'm going to read you a list of games that are definitively said to be at E3. If they are not at E3 in any capacity, you get 5 points. Oh, also, any game that was at last year's E3 that is not at this year's E3 is worth 3 points, if you guess it. You cannot guess anything that's already been canceled. We're going to completely forget the rules halfway through this because I've already forgotten all of them. But you can play along at home if you catch this whenever it goes up. We're literally doing this the day before E3. There's not going to be any time to spend on this, but whatever.
I still stand by my opinion that this is stupid and I don't support this.
E3! Yeah. So I have a list here. This is GameSpot's list of confirmed games at E3 2015. I've also been looking at IGN's list. I'm not going to use IGN's list because IGN's list has suspected titles, which I think means that they know it's going to be there, but they can't officially say it's going to be there. So, but I don't want to give anyone ideas.
Zelda won't be there.
Zelda won't be there, probably. The Legend of Zelda.
I'm
What do you think they're going to call it?
I don't know. Just because I think this is stupid and I don't want to be here doesn't mean I'm not going to say The Legend of Zelda because they said that's not going to be there.
The Legend of Zelda: The Winds of Udina. That's what it'll be called.
Why? Oh. Like Dual Strike.
I guess I was gonna say one of the DS games might have.
I just said a DS game.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna think of a Zelda one though. I know a ton of Castlevania games did that. E3. Yeah. So we're gonna go down this list. We can also stop and talk about any of these if you want to talk about anything related to them.
What do you think?
Because that's really
here.
What do I think will be there? Well, I want to get through these first. I want to get these out of the way, and then we will go conference by conference on what we don't think will be there.
Fine, hurry up.
All right. So the first game on the list confirmed to be at E3 is Abzu.
What is? I don't know what that is.
Abzu is an indie game by Giant Squid and 505 Games. It looks like an exploration-based game. It's a walking simulator, basically.
Can you not just do every single game? Can you just do the ones that people actually give a shit about?
Sure. Do you care about Adrift?
Yes, but I think that will be there.
It's already confirmed to be there, so this is literally the confirmation list.
Okay.
The GameSpot's its only confirmed title, so Adrift will be there. Adrift was announced at the last year's Game Awards. It stood out for being interesting, but it was just a trailer. There was no gameplay, and we have not heard anything about it since. It is about someone being stuck on a space station after it has ruptured.
Yes.
And you're trying to survive. So it's also a walking simulator, basically. You know, it's gonna. You know that you just know that game's just going around listening to tapes, and then it turns out the space station was gay or something. That's how every walking simulator goes now.
Okay.
Amplitude.
That comes out, so who cares?
Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
I stopped caring about Assassin's Creed.
Batman Arkham Knight. I was actually going to say that wasn't going to be there.
Isn't that out in like 2 weeks?
Yeah. Sometimes games that are out show up at E3. I remember Infamous 2 came out the weekend of E3, and it was at E3. Probably so people wouldn't forget it.
I can't care about Batman anymore.
I can't care about Batman.
The best.
I thought City was underwhelming.
Yes. The story,
but,
the plot and everything in City was really cool and interesting, but Asylum was such like a tight, well done experience that making it more open world is not what I wanted, and this one's even more open world, and I don't care.
Yeah, City kind of proves that bigger is not always better. But I like everything I see of Night looks fun. I think like they get like what makes open world games bad, and they're actively ignoring it. By like you can just barrel through everything.
Except it's just still open world.
Yeah. I mean, that could be poor. Sure. I mean, I'm willing to see it in action. Maybe like on a next gen console. There's definitely a time where like you shift into a new generation. Because I played the Mass Effect games recently, and Mass Effect 1 is a PS2 game. It just is. It's slightly prettier.
It's bigger.
It's slightly bigger. It's not as stable, but I am playing a PS3 version, which it was never meant to run on. Mass Effect 2 is a game from recent era. Like there's a massive shift in quality between the two. And I think Arkham Knight might be where we start to see that shift in a more typical game design. Because it seems like that's around the time it'll happen, and it's a big enough property to hold that influence.
Except the big thing for Arkham Knight is the Batmobile, and everything I've heard about Arkham Knight is it's more Batman, except the Batmobile stuff kind of sucks.
Oh, is it? The
Yeah.
Batmobile stuff is what was kind of selling me on it too. It looked kind of fun.
Dude,
I always hate.
why do you want to be in a fucking car? It's not fun.
I don't normally, but it looked. It looked kind of. It looked like kind of fun. I mean, I guess at that point, what I'm asking for is like twisted metal, basically.
But because it's not the main gameplay hook. You still like the main point of the game is still running around as Batman. So all of the Batmobile stuff has to be secondary.
Yeah.
And anytime you have something like that that's secondary that involves another gameplay system, it's usually just not as good.
Yeah, and you know the Arkham Knight is just going to be like Joker.
No, Joker's
No, like he's just like he was crazy. So when he went into the Lazarus pit, he became sane.
No, you see that this is the whole thing too. Is I really liked the stories in Arkham Asylum and City, except in between then and now, I've been reading a shit ton of Batman, and it's like, it's not going to be as good as like what's going on in the comics.
Probably won't. Yeah, I have not read past Death of the Family, but I like Death of the Family a fair amount.
Endgame was really good. Like,
yeah, I'm waiting for that to come out and trade. And now Commissioner Gordon is a robot.
Yeah, Scott Snyder is an amazing Batman writer, and he's not writing the game. So
have you read the Black Mirror?
No.
It was his first Batman comic, and it was back when Dick Grayson became Batman for that brief period.
Oh, I've been reading Batman. I mean, that's like right before Batman Incorporated and stuff.
Yeah,
well, it's before Grant Morrison stuff.
It is about this traveling auction house that sells off like supervillain equipment that he is trying to catch, and there's this really, really great moment where like he goes up on stage and the dude calls him like Batman, and then he reveals that the auction item is the crowbar the Joker used to kill Jason Todd, and then starts hitting him with it. It's great. That crowbar's awesome. Man, because like my favorite one of my favorite comic book characters is Red Hood, and all the Red Hood stuff is like pre-order stuff, and it just makes me feel icky. I like Red Hood.
I read that story recently, Under the Red Hood.
Yeah, I like Red Hood a lot. I like what he like stands for. Like he's just this constant showcase that Batman is fallible. And in an era where everyone sucks Batman off 24/7, I really think that's important. E3! Battleborn's going to be at E3. I thought that was canceled, to be honest.
I don't know what that is.
Battleborn is the Gearbox MOBA shooter.
Uh-oh.
When they showcased that game for the first time, the character they showed off was it was a steampunk robot in like an old timey get up, and I immediately thought this is the most Anthony Birch thing that's ever existed. Fuck this. And then he left, so maybe it's better. It's probably not. I don't know. I've never. I mean, if you want a MOBA shooter, just play Titanfall. It's effectively what Titanfall is. You shoot grunts so you can like unlock powers and become a Titan for a little while. To shoot other Titans.
Moving on.
Battlefleet Gothic Armada. Got no fucking clue what that is. Blood Bowl 2. Brave
Dude,
Tank Hero.
What happened to only things that people actually give a shit about?
I mean, I didn't read this ahead of time, so I have to kind of go through it piece by piece.
Yeah, but you don't have to say everything.
I guess not. Chasm is going to be there. Chasm was I believe it was a Kickstarter game. It's a little Metroidvania, and it looks really good. It looked like it was really tight, like graphically and control-wise.
I don't give a shit unless they say, okay, Axiom Verge is on Vita. I don't care.
It's coming to Vita. They'll probably
it's not there yet, and I want to play it, and I don't want to play it on my PS4. I want to play it on Vita.
I hope Axiom Verge and Bastion show up on the Vita soon, because I really like Bastion a lot.
I've still never finished it. I don't think I ever will.
Bastion's amazing. You should. Bastion is also one of my favorite games.
I couldn't. I tried. I don't know. It's not bad. I just didn't want to finish it.
Call of Duty Black Ops 3 is going to be at E3.
Is that? Yes. Yes, because that
Dang.
is the next one since they did Advanced Warfare last year.
At my work, there was a day where I had to like replace all the pre-order cards because at my work you cannot actually pre-order games in the system. So to get around that, they make cards that basically pre-order for you. I don't think we actually order more units based on them, but you get a $5 gift card when you finally do buy the game. So it's kind of worth it, I guess. Not really, but just like I was looking at some of the labels, and one of the labels was just Call of Duty 2015, and it's probably been there for like the last year. I thought that was funny. They were going out there and talking a little bit about how like Black Ops 3 was going to reinvent Call of Duty, which they probably say every year. But like they were straight up going to say you will no longer be able to hold the left trigger and like fan the right trigger. So the franchise that built itself on aiming down sights will apparently get rid of the mechanic completely. Or at least to some degree. Which probably means you're going to hold down the left bumper and fan the right bumper instead. But, you know. I guess you can do that now. Hey, Deus Ex, Mankind Divided is going to be at E3.
Okay.
I like Deus Ex quite a bit.
I never finished the last one.
This one looks good. Like a couple of times, I thought to myself, what would I do to make the next Deus Ex? And most of what I came up with seems to be in this game. So, good on ya, Ubisoft Montreal. Not Ubisoft, Eidos Montreal. Why is there so much shit in Montreal?
Tax stuff.
Probably. Hey, you know what else is going to be there?
Nope.
Destiny.
I really don't care.
GameSpot only says Destiny. IGN said Destiny's next expansion, which I believe got leaked a little while ago.
I believe it has kings in the title.
Probably.
That is literally all I know.
I read an article about how Splatoon is everything Destiny said it was going to be.
What?
Basically, Splatoon is this fairly bare bones product, but the core mechanic is fun. The loot mechanics are very enticing, and Nintendo is slowly rolling out more content for it in hopes of keeping the community alive. So basically, everything Destiny said it was going to be, Splatoon actually is.
Oh, okay.
And it was a fairly convincing article about it. Splatoon game is popular.
I want to play it, but I feel like I shouldn't spend the money right now. And I realized if I wait, it'll be like they'll because it's a game that they keep patching more content into. So if I wait, there'll be more game.
I've heard it described as the Animal Crossing of shooters. In that the idea is you come home and you play a match, and you go on with your day. Like you wake up, you play a match real quick, and then you can get your day started proper, I guess. I don't know if that's true. I heard that from the Mega 64 guys, I believe. David, you were right. This is a bad idea.
I told you this was a bad idea.
Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition.
That's not a game.
That's a game. No, like there's
Special edition.
There is significant gameplay changes. And like straight up they are adding in like 5 characters. And they are adding in like entire new content modes. They are smoothing stuff. They're upgrading the control system.
Yeah, but no one but Devil May Cry fans cares, and no one but the people who already bought Devil May Cry 4 are going to buy this.
I don't know. Some people might. Hell of a lot more people than the ones that bought the last one.
I bought the last one. I liked the last one.
You're the only person.
That's not true.
Disney Infinity 3.0. How do you feel about Disney Infinity, David, as a huge fucking dork?
It's neat, but I don't want to spend all that money.
Yeah, I was looking at it because I was like, I can drop $40 on this game and then incrementally buy little figures for it, but it's like $80 just to start. And like the packs are not what I want them to be. Because I can't find a pack that's just like, hey, here's Spider-Man and Venom. Have fun. That's all I want. I don't care about the other characters. I cannot find Star-Lord to save my life. I don't think you can actually
about the other characters, and then you said you want to find Star-Lord. How does that?
I care about Star-Lord a little bit. I think Spider-Man is only sold in a double pack with Nova, who I don't care about.
Especially not Ultimate Spider-Man.
And like Star-Lord is only sold with Gamora. I don't hate Gamora, but I don't love her. Like if I could get like Star-Lord and Groot or Star-Lord and Rocket, I'd do that. I know that's like the most cliche position to take of I like Rocket Raccoon and Groot, but that's how I feel. Man, it's only gonna take like how long do you think it's gonna be before those characters become like just so oversaturated in media that we're just going to be disgusted with them?
I don't know.
I tried to type Splatoon into my phone at work today because I wanted to read about it, and my hand instinctively typed in Splatoon Rule 34.
I didn't need to know that.
E3. I didn't search it. I stopped, but I noticed it. I don't really look stuff up all that often, but when I do,
it's porn.
Yeah, The Division. Do you care about The Division, David?
I don't think it's going to be there.
Do you think we're going to get another like gameplay segment where they show off like, oh man, look how important it is to talk to your friends, and everyone talks like they're like a military vet, where in real life it was just going to be calling each other racial slurs?
Racial slurs?
Racial slurs.
That's not what you said.
What race is Rachel? Because that might hold true.
I don't know. I told you this was a bad idea.
Divinity Original Sin Enhanced Edition.
And now this is your fault as to why this is our newest episode.
Doom. What do you think about Doom, David?
I don't know. I said we should have played the Bethesda E3 drinking game.
We can. I didn't think we could do that because I thought I had to work through it. But looking at their schedule, I actually don't. So we can still do that if you want to do it supplementary. I think I'm already playing.
Now it's too late.
Are you sure? We can.
Yes.
Whatever. All right. Fine, David. Don't worry, everyone who likes It Came From the Internet. We're gonna do another episode soon on rape.
It's not just about rape. It's about alleged rape.
It's about alleged rape, But like all rape, it's not real.
I'm not going to comment on that.
David, what do you think about Doom?
I like Doom. I like the old Doom games. I like Doom 3. I don't know what Doom 4 is going to be.
It looks like it's going to be Doom from what I saw.
Yeah, but like old Doom. I liked New Doom better.
I don't know. I feel like there's more room for after Wolfenstein. I feel like there's a lot of room for some old style Doom.
Yeah, but is it going to be as good as Wolfenstein?
Will it be as good as Wolfenstein: The Bad Blood?
I still haven't played Old Blood.
I've been thinking of a way to make that Wolfenstein joke for weeks now.
You failed.
I did. It'll come back up. Don't worry. Yeah. Did you see those screenshots of the original version of Doom 4?
No.
It's Rage.
Oh.
It's just Rage. Like, it's so obvious that they just were like, let's just make this another game. They did what most what most developers should do is instead of like continuing the property, they decide let's just make another one. Let's just make something different. Let's not ruin this franchise. Fable Legends.
Is that the remake of Fable?
I don't know what it is. I think it plays on the Xbox display at my work all the time. But I don't know what Fable is at this point, because they used to be adventure games.
Well, no, they were RPGs.
Whatever.
So you didn't know what Fable was in the first place?
Yeah, RPGs, sure. You hit something and a number pops over it. So big RPG now.
That's what an RPG is. Well, that's sort of what an RPG is.
Fallout 4. 4.
Yes.
I like Fallout. I like Fallout quite a bit. I would have preferred Chicago as a location. That's what I wanted. That's where I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be in Chicago because New Vegas basically implies that Chicago is one giant enclave stronghold. And I thought that would be really cool to play Fallout 3, but instead of the Brotherhood, it's the Enclave. And slowly infiltrate their giant wind tunnel coliseums. And I also thought putting it in the north would let you use more intensive weather systems. Although I guess you can do that in Boston. What I ultimately want is I want the Bethesda games to move west, and I want the Obsidian games to move east, and I want a Fallout versus game that takes place in Montana or someplace more interesting than Montana. And it's the Courier and the Vault 101 guy and whoever is in Fallout 4 and whoever will be in the next Obsidian game. There's just they team up to fight mutants in the middle of the desert. This was a bad idea, David.
I told you this was a bad idea.
Farming Simulator 2015 is going to be at E3. Fat Princess Adventures, Forza 6.
Again, remember the whole skipping things no one cares about?
Gang Beasts. New Gears of War title. It's literally what that says here. New Gears of War title. That's it.
That's not going to be there. They're just going to talk about one.
Let's talk about the Gears of War. Have you played Gears of War, David?
I've played 1, 2, and part of 3.
I have not. Where do you want Gears of War to go?
No, I don't want to play Gears of War anymore.
Or what if where would Gears of War have to go for you to want to play it again?
Nowhere. I don't care about that franchise right now.
How far are we? Do you remember that one Lost Planet game for the 3DS that's cell shaded? No, it's an RPG. They're just really the same time this super gruff American Lost Planet game came out, this super anime 3DS one came out.
I don't believe you.
No, it is. It came out for the 3DS and the PS3. It never came out in America though. And it was because it was announced at a time where there really wasn't much on the 3DS, and it looks a lot like Mega Man Legends.
Oh, okay, I do remember hearing about this.
Yeah, it looks really good. I was really upset that it didn't get localized, because at the time I was I want a 3DS, but there's nothing on it. But now there's a fair amount on the 3DS, so I don't feel that bad about it. I'm getting further in Omega Ruby.
Okay.
I've finished. I have all the gym badges, and now I have to go fight the Elite Four, but I want to capture some Pokemon first. I caught Groundon. I named him the Earth.
Can we stop this then?
I should have named him Indominus Rex. Now that I think about it, that would have been a better name. Or just Indominus, I guess. You know the soundtrack to Jurassic World? It's just dinosaur puns.
I don't know if I like that or don't like that.
Like the dude is like notorious. Like he did Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and the titles to all those songs are monkey puns. Guitar Hero Live. How do you feel about Guitar Hero, David?
I can't care anymore. Guitar was always the worst instrument I was at in the band games, so
Yeah.
I think it looks neat, but I don't care.
My cousin played a lot of Guitar Hero, and I played a fair amount with him. So I have fond memories of Guitar Hero. It's one of the only party games that I've ever actually partied during. But we did that with Rock Band as well. So I don't think it matters ultimately. Hey, Halo 5 is going to be there.
Yeah, I don't care.
I really like Halo. I like Halo quite a bit.
I didn't like 4.
I didn't like the way the story of 4 went, but 5 looks like they're going to fix that. They got the writer back of the Halo trilogy. They got him back.
Marty? Or not Marty,
Yeah.
Frank?
I guess. He quit Bungie because Destiny has no story. We were talking about that, about how, like, the plot, like, the development of Destiny mirrors the development of Borderlands almost directly. I think we did. I think I talked about it in a Tales from the Borderlands episode that we did, that no one bothers to watch.
Yeah.
Like you'd figure at some point there'd be some spillage, because like even our worst "It Came from the Internet" episode is busting 1,500 views now.
Really? Which one's our worst one? The Dark Side Bill one?
I think it's the Homestuck Historia, because that one has no comments still, but it has 1,500 views.
That's our worst one?
I think it's our worst one. I didn't really pay attention.
It's Homestuck.
I mean, like I kind of go by comments, so I assume people are probably like chugging it around on Tumblr, and then they comment on it on Tumblr, and not on YouTube. I didn't check the other episodes, but like they're all in like the couple hundreds, if not low thousands. But no one wants to watch Jurassic Park. No one wants to watch Jurassic Park. If you want a really good podcast that's not very long, there are these podcasts called Hunt the Truth, which are these NPR style stories from inside the Halo universe of this journalist trying to uncover Master Chief's past and try to find out who he is.
That sounds so dumb.
It's got some really strong world building in it. Like they answer that like the cover of Halo 2 is in universe a propaganda magazine, and it is a photo that was taken at New Mombasa. And also Steve Bloom plays a random grunt in the podcast, and he plays a random grunt in the actual games. So you can pretend that character made it out alive and went on to become like a high-level executive in the world of Halo. That's what I like to do, Dave.
Homestuck has a lot of comments.
Does it?
It has 26.
Oh, it has. Yeah, but like, there's no new comments, is what I meant. So there might as well be no comments. I don't care. Delete them. Delete them all. Get rid of them. You know what pisses me off to no end? There are people who will ask questions in the comments and they have replies turned off in their YouTube profiles, so you cannot answer them.
Did that
Turn your replies on,
that
people.
one?
It happens. I think it did. I don't remember. Hollow Point. I don't know what that is, but that sounds cool. Hollow Point. That sounds like a good. That sounds like a good name for a shooter. Hollow Point. Mad Max. That game looks really good, actually. Have you seen it?
I heard it wasn't that great.
The Mad Max game?
Yes.
It looks really good. There's like, you have to like go out into the wasteland and find parts for your car. It's by the dudes who make Just Cause. Why are you sprucing up this car, Max? Why don't you just get another one? Just cause. This is a bad idea, David.
I told you that.
Mario Maker's gonna be at E3.
We should end this.
Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain's going to be at E3. The Mega Man Legacy Collection is going to be at E3. You know, let's just go. Let's just do the rape episode.
Are you ready?
You know, I'm about as ready as I'm really ever gonna be. We're already here. Do you want to stop the recording, or do you just want to start it?
Yes,
Okay.
and I have to make a phone call, and then we'll do the rape episode.
Okay. Let me.
Get your notes.
Yeah. Let me like double over these articles real quick.
Okay, like I said, I got to make a phone call. I'll be back.
Mattress